Hello everybody, I am Cheri Bant. I am on day 15 of a whole food plant-based diet. So this is my second video of me checking in, talking about how it's going. I was trying to get the lighting here a little bit better. You'd think I'd get cute for this, but I didn't. You get what you get. I walked today, got really sweaty, haven't showered yet. This is it. This is me. All of me. All right, so a couple things. So it ended up, because I didn't talk about this last time, it ended up that Darren, my husband, and Allison, my oldest that lives with us, I feel like I'm in the spotlight, sorry, they both ended up joining me. So they're about a day behind. So they're on day 14. They've stuck to it really well too. It's going really good. I've had a little bit of issue with nothing with the diet. I finally figured out what kind of led me to, if you watched the previous video, ending up in the hospital thinking maybe I was having a heart attack, having the jaw pain. I went to the dentist yesterday. I've got some TMJ going on, and I've got like a tooth that, and a couple that are going to need to be taken care of. So I have to go back for that. And let me tell you, if you were a dentist right now, you could be making bank, because you can't get in one. It's Darren was calling, we were calling, trying to get me in because I was having the tooth pain and the jaw pain again, and yeah, they said November was the soonest, the dentist that my daughter's going to. So, but they ended up squeezing me in, so it's all good, and that'll hopefully get taken care of and get that fixed up. So that's the only thing I've been battling. I'm doing great. I've lost a little bit more weight, not a lot, but a little bit more. Sleeping super good, like really, really well. Waking up, lots of energy, feel like a different person. And I know that I've watched a lot of stuff, and even in the video that I talked about, the documentary that I talked about in the first video, Forks Over Knives, and I didn't talk about that a lot. For any of you that haven't had a chance to watch it, you need to watch it. It's pretty compelling. You really... If you watch it and you don't feel like you want to make a change, I would be surprised. But I am all about, just because a study says one thing, whatever. But it all makes sense, guys. It all makes sense. And I think I talked before about always feeling like carbs were an issue. And when you learn that like becoming diabetic is about fat in your cells and the inability for your cells to then use, insulin properly because of the fat. And I do have to say, something I didn't mention, when I had gotten, where I was having issue or abdomen pain and they did a CT, one of the things they noticed was that it was documented that I had a fatty liver. Well, that's just that all goes with it. The fat in your cells, and my sugars have been way better. I can eat. I have to tell you, if I ate even a bowl, like a small bowl of oatmeal before, my sugars would spike super high. I can do a huge bowl of oatmeal with fruit in it, and I'm getting normal sugars in 2 hours. So it's already changing that way. I have eaten some things, like we did potatoes one night. Like russets, and of course those are real high starchy, carby, and I didn't do a lot, but I was right around 200 at 2 hours, which was a little on the higher side, but it's going really well. The only thing I will say, a couple things I've learned that I want to share. Early on, you have to have a blender or a food processor, and I had a blender, but just a really cheapy one, and so I decided to buy a food processor. I bought a Hamilton Beach food processor. I took it back. Thank you, Target, for letting me return something that was used. But I needed to make sauces. I'm making my own salad dressings and sauces for our meals. And if you want to make hummus or use a lot of like nuts, raw cashews, I've been doing that, and you soak them and then you use them as a base for a sauce. So, I ended up taking that back and getting, I would love to have Vitamix, but those are super expensive. So I ended up getting like a Ninja Foodie, which was still a little pricey, but they had it on sale, and that thing is fabulous. So I don't mind chopping my vegetables or using like a mandolin slicer. To me, that's easier for cleanup and stuff than having a food processor where you're having to slice and you have to wash everything out. So I would say if you do any of this stuff, like you have to have a good blender, high powered blender, and that Ninja one works great. I've even made made like homemade peanut butter. Just throw the peanuts in, no oil, no anything, and then it takes like 3 minutes and you have peanut butter. So it's pretty awesome. And I think you could probably do that with the almonds or cashews too, and if you didn't want to use peanuts, because I know that they can be, if you don't use organic, they can be a little there's like chemicals, whatever. Okay, so the other thing I have to tell you, and I this won't be a long video, but some things that have happened. Like Allison's doing great. She was the same as me, like craving things all the time. We did have what's today, Friday? So it was Tuesday. She was having a really bad pizza craving. Like she wanted pizza really bad. And so we decided to like do a little research. We ended up getting Pizza Hut did like a veggie no cheese. But they do have oil, like they have oils. So, and I'm trying to do no oil, but we did it anyways. We thought, well, it'll be a little, and it really wasn't that good. It wasn't bad, but it really wasn't that good. And it was good to do it because that was like our big cheat. So if that's our big cheat, and then the other thing is like for me, I need to limit. I love guacamole. Oh my gosh, I could eat that stuff like by the pint, by the tubs. But that won't help me with trying to kind of get the weight off and get the fat out of my cells so that my sugars will be better. So anyways, there's that. And then so she hasn't had the cravings. Darren has stopped snoring. And for all of you ladies out there, and I don't know if it's the dairy and I think I suspect that it was dairy being cut out of his diet that changed that. But I mean, I don't know that it would be the protein, but whatever it is, he's not snoring anymore. And we slept right back here in the bed, and he would wake me up in the middle of the night. His snoring was so loud. And so there's been a few times like I wake up at night and I'm like, is he here? Is he okay? Because before it was so loud. And now there's nothing. So that's got to be helping him sleep. So anyways, I thought you'd all like to know that. So that's happened. But energy wise, it's like I've, had 4 cups of coffee all the time, even without coffee. So it's definitely, a lot of people say the 2 weeks, they felt completely different, and I'm right there and I can see it. If I wouldn't have this tooth thing going on, I think I'd feel like, 110%. But it's really interesting. Carson, my oldest son that just graduated homeschool, that lives with us, he's been lifting and doing stuff for a while, trying to kind of get, and I'm still kind of battling with him on the meat thing because he wants to bulk up because he's kind of a little more lean and he wants to build some muscle and he feels like he has to have protein to do it. And we've kind of been researching that more and more as to whether that's necessary. But anyways, he's been the one that's walking the most with me. So every other day I'm walking, and then sometimes on Saturdays I'll walk with Darren. So then there's like 2 days in a row where I go. And then I'd like to build to where I'm doing about 3 miles a day and walking, but I'm thinking about even joining a gym. That's how much energy I have. And that's like insane for me. But I'm thinking I would like to maybe try some lifting. I don't know. So we'll have to see if that goes that direction. I've been kind of checking it out, calling around, trying to find out what's available. And now with COVID restrictions being lifted to some degree here in Michigan, there's hope. There's hope for some semblance of normalcy soon. But anyways, so that's a little crazy because I'm honestly thinking about that. The other thing I'll tell you is I got Colin Campbell. He's one of the doctors that did the China study. So that's what this book is. I think it was with him and his son that they did this. I'm reading this and it's very interesting. But I was going to say before, and I didn't finish because I get on rabbit trails, is I like to look at both sides of it. So I've been trying to research a little bit as to why is it bad? What about the whole forks over knives, the plant-based whole food diet, what about it is bad for you? And yeah, I think, aside from B12, that's one thing I'll say, B12, and if you watch the video or doing research with that, that's something that I obviously had a low probably B12 before vitamin, which as meat eaters, you get it from meat, but it's only because the animals eat the dirt that has it in it. But so a lot of people are still low in B12. So I was before taking like a huge Melaleuca performance pack, $100 a month vitamin pack. And I will tell you that is probably how I was not feeling worse than what I was, is that vitamin pack. But what I decided to do was doing this, I've decided to cut back on all those supplements. The only thing that I'm taking now is the B12 from a B complex So it has B12 and some other stuff in it, but from Melaleuca. So not even like a multivitamin, just that. But I will tell you, once I started taking that, once it came, I had mentioned before that I had some cloudy head. That was completely gone. Now that's not even a thing. Allison's noticed that that's gone for her too. So I think we were lacking in some B vitamins. So so that's something that's definitely something to consider if you're at all thinking about this. But really for negatives, again, I have no, like, I'm not craving, like, you know, I'm not craving bad stuff really. I will say, like driving around, like going to church, coming home, doing all the things, being out, I see like a fried chicken thing, like there's a restaurant really close to us here that does roasted chicken, and I think, am I not gonna have like crunchy stuff again? I mean, is that, so I've thought about that a little bit, but I feel so good that I don't, it's worth any of that sacrifice, but I need to get an air fryer, I think. So I need your help for any of you out there. If you have an air fryer and you absolutely love it, please share with me, you know, in the comments, wherever, if you're watching this on YouTube or on Facebook or whatever, what your favorite is. Because I think if I could get to where, like, making some like sweet potato fries or something where it's a little more, get a little more crunch, that would be great. The only thing I've found that I am not really a big fan of is a lot of times with vegan recipes, they'll use nutritional yeast because it has a lot of added vitamins and stuff in it, and it has like a cheesy flavor, or so they say. I'm not a big fan. It has like a real heavy flavor to it. So I don't know if our palates will change and eventually we'll like that, but, and I think after my initial 30 days, I think we'll add in some, I'll say the vegan or vegetarian junk food, but I might try some alternative things. So if you have any favorites that you like, vegan junk food that you like, not that I really want to do much of that, but if I you know, can occasionally having a little snack here of something or other, that would be kind of nice. And I'd like to come up with some kind of like pizza thing, but I haven't, and I know we could do like cauliflower crust or something, but we just haven't dug into that yet. I'm still somewhat using the meal planner from Forks Over Knives, and then we're kind of adding, we're figuring out what we like. We really like fajitas that you make with, Allie has a mixture that she uses for, it's just like chili powder and like spices that she uses. So we use her spice that she mixes, and we put it on portobello mushrooms and onions and green peppers. They're not green peppers, like red peppers, yellow peppers, bell peppers. And it's so good with whole corn tortillas and maybe some quinoa or some brown rice. Super yummy. Love it, love it. Could eat that like all day long. So, and I'm finding, I think after initially getting all the pantry staples, that the groceries are going to be cheaper. And we're doing some alternatives for the kids too. We're trying to cut back a little bit on the animal protein, but not completely cut it out. And they're still doing some cheeses, and we're still doing some macaroni and cheese and things like that. So we'll see how that all goes, and we're trying to figure our way through all of that, but so far so good. So really not a lot of negatives, not really. So we'll keep seeing what my weight does with the walking and I can tell definitely, I should have probably like measured myself, but see, this is my thing. I want to lose weight, but that isn't my end goal. I just wanted to feel better. And the losing weight will be like the bonus, you know, if I find my body again, that would be great. But I just want to feel better. Mainly that's what I want, and so far it's working. So I'm going to keep learning, keep trying, and I'll keep you posted as to how it's going. And if you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to share, like any of the stuff we're doing, I'd be happy to share. But again, if you have an air fryer that you love, please share with me what that is. And then if you have any, like, I know I had a few friends like send me some recipes, but if you are vegan and you have a favorite, like you just absolutely adore this thing, I would love to know what that is. And also I know like Allison's birthday's coming up. I'd love to do like a cake for her. I looked at like a carrot cake, or so if anybody out there has any good cake recipes, vegan, preferably low to no oil, which I know is difficult, but I know that there's ways to do it. So I would love it if you'd share. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I will be checking back in next week and see how it's going. So y'all have a blessed one. See you later.